Holy shitballs. You've got to be kidding me. Circuit breakers on the NASDAQ? Crazy shit. Wow. Hey, Paul. What? Dude, Paul, we fucking finally let you back in the room and look what you do. That's crazy, man. I did not expect to see crypto down 30% pretty much across the board. That is nuts. I haven't even had a chance to properly digest this yet. Wow. I just woke up too. I woke up to Eli pinging me. Oh, there's a sick joke in there too. I'm not going to say, but um, and then I see this whole thing is wow, crypto down 30% across the board. That's nuts. One up here fighting for 40%. That being a link just because it's had such a good run. Wow, what the flood? Talk about a flash crash on Binance. Holy shit. Maybe we should take this to a real crypto live stream. Okay, our measured moves are coming to pass. Wow. That's insane. I guess raising global liquidity. I think I said yesterday. I'm not sure how crypto would handle, a recession. Well, I guess now we have the answer or an answer. I don't know about the answer, but your futures are down 5% today in the markets too. That chart is nuts on Link. Okay, this one only got down to $2. Binance got down to like a fraction of a penny. Look at the 2 hour chart right there. 0.0001 dollars. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Actually reminds me of something to do for trade triggers, which okay, so I know yeah, not supposed to be talking about crypto during the stock show, but that's pretty amazing right there. It pretty much kills every chart. All of them. Just murders all the charts. Welcome to the Chart Murder Show. Okay, that's what I should do an extreme stream and call it Chart Murder Show. Because that's basically what today is. Monkey Charm's not. I know he had some link. I know he's not going to be happy. Damn. That's crazy. All right, let's check out stocks. Like I said, I probably should just go do an extreme stream on the crypto side. This thing's been halted, it looks like. I don't even know if their data stream is accurate. NASDAQ down 5.1. Yeah, look, they got halted again. Holy shit. This is arguably worse than 2008, to be honest with you. I don't. This is so quick too. Look at this. This is a weekly chart of the futures. I'm just gonna. I don't know. Shoot, I need my. I wish I had Thinkorswim back. Look at. This was our bear market. Remember the bear market we all went through? This is this market. This is 4 weeks in. 4 weeks in the bear market over here, we were only down 12%. This has got to be a 25. Now we're down 20%, 22%. 4 weeks in, and the week's not even over yet. That's insane. This is like, I don't know, this is almost guaranteed bear market. I was talking to the wife last night who really doesn't like talking about this stuff. And I'm like, we could go 50% again. This could be a 50% correction. It could be another one. I didn't think we'd see another one until I was old man, but I mean, hopefully it turns around soon. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. All right, let me log into my Ameritrade so I can at least get some real-time stuff, although I can't get futures quotes. That stupid E-Trade thing that sucks. The market's going to open in 8 seconds. I need to get some water too. Let's watch the sea of red over here. That's just going to be insane. Yeah, right, Justin? Oh, bye, cakes. Oh, I got to take my kids to school today, too. So, okay, it looks like we did open. We're lower, 255 on the Q. Oh, this is Apple. This is Apple. Let's go to the Qs. Holy crap. That looks much worse on the Qs than it does on the NASDAQ. Look at that gap and then follow through. Oh, man. Are they going to go circuit breaker first thing? Down 6.3%. This is such a horrible charting experience that I can still only go daily. Come on. Let's watch this thing intraday. There's no reason to look at this in the daily. The gap is so damn big. In all honesty, I'm not 100% up on the announcement from last night. I know he mentioned to pretty much close air travel. Yeah, here we go. Oh, from PBS, the source it isn't complete trash. Trump's response. What exactly will Trump's announcement do? Let's go ahead and bring this up as we kind of watch the markets gyrate and then die. Okay, restricting travel from Europe for 30 days, dropping insurance co-payments. Dropping insurance co-payments. He met with leaders in the health insurance industry, agreed to waive all co-payments for coronavirus treatments, extend insurance coverage to make sure the treatments are included to avoid any surprise medical billing. Well, that's good. Although, talk about, there goes 50 cents thing where he doesn't control the markets. He's more libertarian. No, he's not. Small business loans. He would be instructing SBA to provide capital liquidity to companies affected by the coronavirus. He would include low interest loans to small businesses, and that he would be asking Congress increase funding by $50 billion for federal programs. I guess. He'd be instructing the Treasury Department to defer tax payments without interest penalties for people and businesses infected by the coronavirus. This doesn't seem that great. I mean, the insurance part's going to be good for some people, but how can you determine whether you've been affected by the coronavirus or not? I guess certain industries would be more affected than others. Countries affected. Foreign nationals who have been in any of those countries for 14 days before their departure will not be allowed entry into the U.S. This is addition to similar restrictions put in place for China. UK is not included, which is funny. The restrictions are indefinite. Wow. What happened to 30 days? Ooh, it's raining over here. Like, oh yeah, it's supposed to get like an inch of rain over here today in Arizona. So when it rains, it pours, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy. Okay, where's my chat? All right. You sold your TQ. Oh, good job, Mahale. Yeah, very good job. Ireland has closed all schools already. My mother-in-law just got back to Ireland. Hi, Ethan. It's raining cat. It's called raining cats and dogs. Oh, it's not quite cats and dogs. For Arizona, it's cats and dogs, but not for New York. Eli would be like, it's sprinkling. He's from New York. They get a good amount of rain. All right, so markets rolling back over here a little bit. We're down 6.7%. Tesla down 10%. Looks like a lot of the market down almost double digits. Gold is down too, guys. Where's your safe haven, gold bugs? There's no safe haven. Cryptos aren't even a safe haven. All right. How deep we can fall is right. Yeah, cash is definitely king unless you're short, Justin. Then being short is king. But yeah, I would definitely argue cash is king. You know, we've been talking about waiting for follow-through days, good investment practices. I need to get my water. I've got no water. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna grab some water. I could just stick it up my window, get some water that way, but pretty sure the water off my roof isn't that good. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Bryce, stocks got halted? Did everything get halted? I don't see anything ticking on my screen right now. Unless my computer froze. It can do that. It's fully capable of freezing. Wow. Okay. Am I still live? I just want to make sure that I'm not going to be talking into the ethosphere, which I don't even think is a section of the atmosphere. But still, I don't want to be talking into it. Someone say hi, Randy, or you suck. Someone call me a racial slur or something. Anyone? I'm still ticking away. Okay, Rob says I'm good. That is not a racial slur. You don't follow instructions very well. I need to write this out. It's extraordinarily important, at least in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor because If I was, you could sue me, apparently, although I don't think that's a thing. Knowing a financial advisor is not a real title for anything. Um, it's extremely important. If you guys learn anything from me, which you're unlikely to do, I feel very jokey this morning. I'm usually very sarcastic. That's why Eli and I get along great. We're both huge assholes, but I'm usually not this sarcastic. Um, if you take nothing away from your time with me, take away listen to the market. Okay? Number one, listen to the market. If you can learn to listen to the market and ignore everything, remember in the beginning of the coronavirus, let me back out here too, because I know you're watching my screen. Um, if you guys remember the beginning of the coronavirus, I didn't care. Do you guys remember why I said I didn't care? Because we have good CDC, because the World Health Organization does a good job, and they do. But listen to the market. I didn't care because the market didn't care. The second the market started to care, my tune changed. If you guys remember, the second it started to turn, then you can start to get a little bit, concerned. And then the action of the market thereafter. None of these are traditionally bullish days. Why don't I have volume on this chart? Q should give me volume. Let's go over to TradingView. Um, okay. No, I mean, none of these are really spectacularly bullish days. There's no follow-through days in here. We talked about a follow-through day. We've talked about follow-through days significantly. Um, We don't have follow through days. It's really important to listen to the market. You know, sometimes you're going to get lucky and get a few calls right, but on balance, more than anything, if you listen to the market, you're going to be doing okay. You're going to stay out of trouble. And the funny thing about the market is it's more important to stay out of trouble than it is to make money. You can't be invested without any money. So if you stay out of trouble, like luckily Mihail got out of his TQQQ position, because today's a pretty shitty day if you have a big position in the TQQQ, which, as you know, is kind of one of my investment strategies, and obviously I'm out of it. I'd be shitting my pants if I wasn't, because I'd be down so much. But listen to the market, act accordingly, and that's like the number one rule for me, and for a lot of people, is to listen to the market. The number two thing in these situations is follow-through days. Follow-through days are extremely important. Extremely important. Without a follow-through day, I don't think you jump back in long at all. Especially in this environment, so you always listen to the market first. Follow through days are extremely important, but then 3 is understanding what the market's doing. What do I mean by that? Because I don't talk too much about that. You have to, in this situation. So, well, let's take the past. I'm assuming this is going to be a deeper correction than what we have right now. I don't know the last time we went from circuit breaker to immediate bottom and reversal. I don't think that's happened yet. Historically, I don't think we've gone, oh, let's go circuit breaker, and then great news comes out on the Twitter sphere, and then the market rockets up 20%. I don't think that's happened. The market right now is reacting to very unknown situations, historical situations. These are historical decisions that are being made to close air travel. Like, what's UAL? Yeah, down 14%. Yeah, where's Casey? Why isn't Casey in here just screaming at all of us that he's a super genius? Because he could do that. I'd let him. I definitely let him. If you're his UAL shorts, just got to be. He was looking for $40. We're at 42. Yeah, Justin. Yeah, we are. I don't say that lightly. I don't say that. It's fully possible that we could do that. So actually, I could give you a little bit of a history lesson here too. But let me finish what I'm saying. Understand what the market is doing, and just understand. Put it in perspective. I don't know. I can't underscore what's happening. It is historic, but not in like a I don't know, not like a Bitcoin historic way, because Bitcoin's kind of cool and kind of fun. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool, but it doesn't really affect anything. Bitcoin doesn't affect anything. But the stock market going down 50%, that's historic. I think it's possible. Whether it's likely, it's getting more and more likely every day, and the probability is increasing a lot that is happening. In the financial markets, you usually don't take this quick this quick of a haircut without substantial damage. So let's draw some parallels to 2008, which actually encompasses part of 2007 and part of 2009, to 2020. Now, there's going to be some big parallels and there's going to be some big differences as well. There's going to be big There's going to be big difference. There's going to be similarities and there's going to be big differences. Obviously, these are not the exact same situation, but economic wise, they are likely to be very similar. And this is what, I don't know, a lot of layman people probably don't understand. People in Wall Street, I think, are starting to get it, which is why they're throwing their stocks out the window at this stage of the game. It's pretty much what they're doing. So 2008, we basically had money supply halted for kind of lack of a better term. Most of the money supply, because keep in mind, it was the banks that were going bankrupt. It was the banks that were going bankrupt, and the banks were not lending money. So our money supply was essentially halted. We don't necessarily, we still have money supply. Our banks aren't necessarily closing, but pretty much everything else is. A lot of other things are closing, and that could cause some problems. That could cause a lot of problems, which is, I think, why you're seeing this. I think that is one of the best parallels in terms of why this is potentially a market breaker. So the money supply was halted in 2008. Now, if you remember 2008, it started with housing prices stopped rising. Are you done, Ethan, with your homework? Oh, okay, great. Housing prices stopped rising, started stalling, and then started falling. And when they started falling, you started to see foreclosures go up because people couldn't refinance their houses anymore. They couldn't qualify for that anymore because everybody was running like every 5% house increase, they would refinance their houses, go buy more houses. Well, for some people. So it was almost a top-down approach. This is almost a bottom-up approach. We're approaching it from the opposite direction, but the effects are possibly very similar. You have, cruise lines shutting down, airlines shutting down. You've got sporting events shutting down. The banks are okay, but you've got all these people that are unable to spend their money. Yes, Ethan? Oh, you want to get on my tablet? Hold on a second. What are you gonna do? Okay, go for it. Yeah, so this is kind of like a bottom-up approach. 2008 was a top-down approach. Another parallel is government intervention. All right, so I've got two columns on my piece of paper here. In 2008, I have money supply halted. Under 2020, I have business halted. Because that's essentially what's happening. Instead of the top-down approach from housing and from banking, we have a bottom-up approach, which is general business is being halted. All right. In 2008, we had government intervention. We wrote this chart up last time, and I hope it's still around. Yeah, here we go. Oh, why am I on the 2 hour? That's wrong. Come on. Okay. So let's go back to 2008. Remember we did this the other day, if you recall? So look at this stock market. Look at the notes that we put on here the other day, if you guys remember. Okay. Looks like I've got a bunch of new people on here that usually aren't on here. Guys, like the video, share the stream, although I'm going to have to go here in about 20, 30 minutes. So we're talking about parallels between 2008 and 2020 for those of you joining us, and why we actually realistically could. I'm not just saying that. Money supply halted in 2008. Here we have businesses are halted. They're just being stopped in their tracks. We had early government intervention, which the government always tries to do, which apparently doesn't work. Because if you go back to 2008, look at this. You've got early government intervention. Fed tries to stop the housing bust right there. They try to start it. Does it work? Probably for a couple of months, but nothing can really stop the general economy, not even the Fed. Bush signs the tax rebate, which everyone got a check. Wait a minute, was that check or payroll taxes? Maybe it was payroll taxes. Trump just did this right here. And then you have Fed mini bailouts for the next couple of weeks, right? And then the housing crisis just gets worse and the Fed nationalizes Fannie and Freddie. This is over the course of December through April, I think. Oh, this was September. Man, it seems like that took a long time. So that was about 9 months. And the market dropped significantly. But again, it was a top-down thing. The markets went down about 24% here to when Bush signed tax cuts. Then the market rebounded for a couple of months. But one of the differences that may happen here, so now we get to the differences. I mean, so far, because this is still pretty new. It's only been happening a couple of weeks. Some of the differences are the kind of top-down approach. Now, once Fannie and Freddie nationalized and Lehman happened, the market, it looks like it took a week or so, but it basically fell apart. They never could really quite rebound after Lehman Brothers, because then like half the other banks went bankrupt, if you remember. So we have some early intervention into the housing crisis thing and trying to avoid a recession, which is what's happening now. You're getting the Fed stepping in, you're getting Trump stepping in, you're getting, payroll. Well, I'm thinking he announced payroll tax deduction, but you're getting all of these emergency measures. But in some cases, they're enough. In some cases, you can see rebounds. For a good example of that was our little mini correction, or mini bear market. It was a correction. A little mini bear market here. Remember our fun and cute bear market from 2018, where we kind of rode the cues, pretty damn nicely, I do have to say for myself. Went down 23% in pretty short fashion and ended up being a V bottom. We got our follow through day over here and then off to the races we go, if you remember that. But the government intervention over here worked. It worked. It worked. We were falling off of a cliff. The government stepped in and it worked. But what were our market forces at that time? Our market forces at that time in 2018 was China FUD and Fed, and the market being a bunch of whiny baby bitches. The Federal Reserve and China FUD. That's what this was. This is different in my opinion. The coronavirus, while it may not be Ebola, it's probably not going to kill half of the world's population. You could say that's a good thing. You could say it's not going to kill half the world's population, but it's it's a global effect. It's global, similar to 2008, right? Another similarity is it actually, yeah, maybe worse than 2008. They're both global. 2008 started in the U.S. and ended up being global. 2020 is starting global. Okay, so other similarities is that these are both global instances. The China FUD was not global. While it did affect supply chains, it probably likely affected some other markets. It was not global. This started in China, the EU, the US. They're all taking action individually. It's going to take longer for this to come back than China FUD and the Fed. China FUD and the Fed is small potatoes to the world's first, second, third, fifth, 25th largest economy, each taking emergency measures to put people in small boxes. It's likely to continue. When you look at how people in the market, institutional investors, big money investors, when you look at how those individuals work, how those companies work, they're forward looking. Right now, if you look around, I think it's a little difficult to see where the bottom is. Ideally, we shut down the airlines and we can just deal with the virus inside of our countries, I guess is what's trying to happen. And then after that, we can open stuff up again. We'll be a little sicky sick and we'll all go about our business. That, I think, is your best case scenario. Because what's happening now is you're going into lockdown. Everyone's going into lockdown, which halts a lot of economic activity. Again, business is halted from the ground up. Now you have airlines halted. You're going to have almost all international travel halted in a lot of places. Maybe the U.S. has taken the lead, and maybe other states are going to start doing the same thing. If they haven't already, I haven't actually heard if they have or have not. But um, anyway, I think there is a good possibility that we do take it deeper on the chin. If you've got another bad shoe that drops, and the way the virus is spreading right now, I don't think anyone has hopes of like stopping it. It's just containment at this stage of the game. The question is, does it affect, 1 million Americans or 100 million Americans? And then at that stage, I mean, if it stops at 1 million Americans, and I'm not sure what the number is in China. It's not even up to 1 million in China. But if it hits a large enough number, you start closing schools, which is going to pull people out of their jobs to watch their kids. You've got generally kind of worse and worse situations economically. Again, from the bottom up. The last one was the top down. This one could be bottom up. I'm not a doomsday guy. You guys know that. You guys have been around here a long time. I'm not doomsday. I'm not doom and gloom crypto, I'm not real doom and gloom. I'm not generally real doom and gloom. But I do want to look at what's happening, what could happen, and make effective decisions for my portfolio. Because in the end, that's all I can do, and that's all you guys can do as well, is make effective decisions for your portfolios. So, do you short? If you're short, do you cover? If you're cash, do you long or go short? What are those? What are those decisions that you're going to make? Getting a little bounce right here. I don't know if we've bottomed with the travel restrictions. Like, if this was a normal event, I would say, I was thinking this morning, buy the rumor, sell the news. I was thinking buy the rumor, sell the news. But I don't know if this is a sell the news event. It could be, but there could be more measures to come. So these 5% ranging days that we've been having recently, which is pretty bad, 5% days on indexes is massive. Massive amount of stuff going on here. We could continue that. We could likely continue that. So 2008, it's possible. It's possible. If the outbreak continues and there's either the death toll gets larger, which is obviously going to be a major concern. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Any thoughts on that, guys? Kind of went a long time on a little royal there. But Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely is an unprecedented situation, and I think that as long as we're closing borders, um, it's definitely not good for stocks. Hey, what's up, Marky Mark? Anything on BTC? I don't know if there's any news. I think it's just liquidity. I think it's just liquidity being raised across the board there. If institutions are involved, I mean that's why you that's I mean this is what could happen. We haven't seen these kind of moves in a while in crypto. These 25% days. We were having this conversation a while back. We just haven't seen them. We haven't seen them. Could be a buying opportunity, but there's a lot of damage in the charts right now in terms of crypto. Going back to stocks for a second. Yeah, Justin mentions getting his watch list in order. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree to that. Watch list, I think, is incredibly important. And in these situations, which keep in mind could likely take a while to play themselves out. This isn't something that usually V bottoms. Now we V bottomed over here. We were talking over here. We started cascading lower, ended up with a huge bottoming candle right there, and then reversing higher. Then we got a follow through day pretty quickly here. So, I mean, look, I'm going to be pretty bearish until we get a good looking follow through day and we see leaders of the market start to rebound. Okay, it's just the way that it is. It's going to remain in a bearish tinge because there's tremendous amount. Markets hate uncertainty, and what's more uncertain than a global pandemic? Um, I don't know, asteroid hitting us. Maybe an asteroid that isn't quite big enough to kill us, but is big enough to take out a quarter of a continent. Say something's going to hit off of the Florida coast, maybe a quarter of a mile wide, maybe a half a mile wide, you know, something big enough to really do some damage, but not quite big enough to globally take the whole world out. Obviously, going to throw some dust into the atmosphere. We're going to get some worldwide blackouts for a while, but we really have no idea, right? That's kind of what we're in the midst of right now. Yes, right here. Yeah, that is a measured move, Rob. Yeah, yeah. It looks like we just hit it too. I was going on my rant here, but yeah, it looks like we hit it. Remember my trend lines from a couple of days ago? Yeah, that's a pretty big drop, man. We gapped my whole little thing here, didn't we? Well, I guess I got a little bit of a viewer improvement while going on my rant, but then they left when I stopped. I guess I should do more rants. That's what the people want. They want markets tanking and Randy rants. Although I find that strange to believe. Man, look at the volume on the queue seems weird. I think everything seems strange today to me because it's raining outside. It's not a normal occurrence. So let's take a look at some of the global market, or just the market leaders, not global anything, but just the general market leaders. Let's hide these logarithmic curve lines for BTC. Um, so there's Amazon really taking it on the chin here. Long term Amazon. Eli had a joke earlier about Amazon's going to take over the world. Well, they already are, and this could increase it a little bit. I mean, I don't know if Amazon's going to stop workers. I highly, highly doubt it. But um, yeah, you talk about a 10% plunge in Amazon. But this is a pretty aggressive clip in Amazon. I think when we do start to bottom, obviously all of your big ones are going to be good purchases. Apple, whenever this comes back, is going to be a great purchase. Microsoft, these leaders are still around. They're still here. They're not going away. The world's not changing necessarily. It's just getting its ass kicked right now. Bryce says, I think analysis is good instead of look at this moving, look at that moving, and not explaining what you're actually doing. Um, yeah, I do both, Bryce. I mean, obviously, I think you're new here from the other day, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do both. I like to. I think a holistic view of the market is really good. Is really good. Oh, well, you're welcome. No, I think it's excellent. And I do try to do that a lot because I think a lot of people don't give context to analysis. They try to give like one blurb and then come back 3 days later and go, oh, see, I told you I was right. But all the other times where they say that, they don't explain why they were wrong. You know? I watched the beginning of yesterday's video and chat replay wasn't playing and the chat isn't viewable on your video and it was weird, so it was weird to listen to. Oh, you were Oh, because were you listening? No, you said you were watching, Rob. You can't get a chat replay? The reason I took chat off is because, well, number one, I couldn't resize my Thinkorswim window. And number two, when I went back to watch that video when I was sounding like a chipmunk you guys were talking about, I noticed that on my YouTube screen, I could see my chat window on my video and the chat window replay. So they were like side by side. And it seemed really odd to me. So I took the chat window off. So if that is weird, let me know. If you can't get replay, I'll definitely put it back up. I'll definitely put it back up. I could put it back up now if you want me to. Give me the word and I'll do it. Um, but yeah, no, I think context is very important. And I think something that a lot of people don't do is go in depth. And I really do try to go in depth and educate, you know. One or the other is nice. Yeah, but yeah, did you get the chat replay though? Like, were you able to see it, or was there an option? Because there may be an option for chat replay that you don't have turned on or something. Um, but yeah, so going back to leading stocks, I mean, just make a list of your leaders that you're ready and willing to pounce on. If you guys are strictly traders and take shorter term positions, then you're going to want to get a different kind of a list ready. But if you're longer term, if you want to buy individual stocks for much larger swings, I think you're looking at the big names. Oh, chat was disabled. Maybe it's a setting. Enable live chat. Allow live chat to replay. No, you should be able to replay it. I was just looking at settings. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird, Rob. No, I definitely enable chat. Okay, so looking at your leaders here. Um, let's just look at the general leaders you've got. I mean, it's all the names you know and love: Apple, Microsoft, Google, Alibaba, which actually is holding up very well. Facebook, which hasn't been acting as well lately. Berkshire Hathaway. Wonder what they're doing. Warren's buying the bejesus out of his stock right there. He lives for these times, man. You're gonna see some big moves from Warren Buffett probably in the next week or two. Hold on a sec. All right. Just noticing the time while I'm blowing my nose there. I'm gonna have to go. I'm taking the kids to school this morning. Wife's got an early thing going on. She's got to give more people the coronavirus. Um, United Health isn't doing too bad, considering. So anyway, in terms of if you guys are, if you guys are looking for to bottom buy, one of my favorites is Tesla. To be honest with you, I love Tesla. I'd marry it if I could. Um, Tesla's a good bottom buy for me. I don't know. I may jump in. I may stick with TQQQ. I don't know. I'm not sure if Tesla's going to go on a massive run or anything like that. Um, yeah, Brian, I think the 400 level, I think it'll get down to there. in the fours. I don't know about under four. It'll be in the fours. What's called a four handle. It'll have a four handle at some stage of the game, probably. It's actually quite a bit of work to get it down here, to be honest with you. This as large a move we had, 43% drop is a big drop. I'm not saying it's not, but this thing could have dropped a lot more than that. It's actually holding up relatively well. I do really like Tesla. But if you guys want longer term positions, this is a great time to do watch list stocks. Visa, MasterCard are stocks you want to buy when they look like the market's dying. If you guys are looking for good bounces, Delta Airlines, United Airlines, the airlines are likely to be fantastic buys at some point. Let me reiterate that. At some point. Not right now. They're likely to be fantastic buys. The bounces back on these hopefully will be good. It's a little difficult to say exactly, but hopefully will be good. If you're looking at trading in the shorter term, you're going to want to find market sectors that are holding up really well, and you're going to want to find the leaders in those sectors. And I do that through Investors Business Daily. But I do got to run, guys. I got to take my kids to school. Thanks for joining me here today and letting me rant and get my weird ass thoughts out there into the world. Let's take a little look at the markets. It looks like we are bouncing a little bit here, but I don't know how far that's going to go. So enjoy your blood in the streets day, and I will see you guys later for the Crypto Power Hour, where I think I think we'll all just cry together and in a big circle. I think is what's going to happen. So, all right, guys, I will see you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Yeah, right, Rob? Later.